There are many reasons why people struggle to lose weight, and for someone who's been in that category now for nearly 2 decades, this last month of weight loss for me has been transformational for me both physically and most importantly psychologically. I am only a month in, but I've been a month in many times before. But this is different because I'm working on myself both physically and psychologically, and my motivations are for someone else. It's for my son. I want to get healthy for him as he's growing up and get into a position where I can have fun with him. I have learned so much about myself, and the things that I've learned are actually some of the reasons why has prevented me from losing weight in the first place and actually starting. So I felt like it was really important to share this journey and document everything of what I've learned. So hopefully, not only do I learn a little bit more about myself in the process, but maybe some people might be motivated to start a weight loss journey. So I'm going to share 3 things that I've learned has been incredibly helpful in this first month of weight loss. Number 1 is celebrate the small wins. Now, for someone who's struggled to lose weight for over 2 decades, and I'm sure there are many other people that struggle in this way that I'm about to describe, for me, looking at the journey of weight loss is one of the reasons why I stopped myself from losing weight all this time, is because I saw where I am now and everything that I do, so eating highly unhealthy foods, very fatty foods, sugary sweets, everything in between, and then looking at the long journey it's going to take for me to get to the point where I'm happy with my body. The long journey is what put me off. So by celebrating small wins over this last month, I've made it a lot more enjoyable, and I actually feel good about myself because it's almost like you're giving yourself a pat on the back. So I'll give you a few examples. So I like eating unhealthy foods, burger and chips, pizza's my go-to, everything unhealthy, a lot of snacks and a lot of unhealthy sort of sugary sweets. So for me, the prospect of cutting everything out, that for me was like, I really don't want to do that because I like eating all those types of food. So for example, instead of eating the burger and chips I would be used to, I would either, instead of getting a double burger, I'd get a single burger, or I would half the size of fries that I would get. So I'm still eating the foods that I love, but I'm making small changes. If I was eating a pizza, I would only have half a pizza instead of the full pizza, and maybe the next half the day after. So I'm cutting the calories down, but I'm also changing my sort of mindset of reducing those types of food. If I was going to go for a walk, I would take an extra route and maybe do 5 minutes extra. So for them reasons, celebrating those small wins actually made me feel really good about myself, because by the next week I was doing it again, and the next week, and I was celebrating all these small wins to a point where I'm feeling really good about myself because I'm making these changes. I'm starting my journey of weight loss, and I'm getting to the point very slowly where I'm happy within myself. The journey is long, it's going to be hard, and it's going to be stressful. So when you can celebrate the small things, then bigger things look really good. And when you get to a point where you're in a position to be happy within your body, you're going to feel on top of the world. Number 2 is be kind to yourself. Now for me, it's been nearly 2 decades where I've been obese and unhealthy and unhappy. So being kind to myself is saying to me, you're going to go to the gym 3 times a week, you're going to feel tired, and if one of the days you feel like you just can't do it, that's okay. You've still gone 2 other times during that week. When you're eating food, okay, you maybe have a really bad day, but you've had 6 other really good days. And there's been many times where, in the past especially, but more so now, where I've been Monday to Friday or Monday to Saturday under my calorie goals, and then one day I've been over. And then on that day where I've been over, I would kick myself because I might as well have just ruined the whole diet because I've eaten a burger and chips, or I've gone out and eaten something unhealthy and I've gone above my calories. It would ruin my entire day because, I've lost all the weight, and then I'm now putting it all back on in one day. No, being kind to yourself is saying you've done really well these last 6 days. One day is not going to make that much of a difference. Now, if it carries on, then yes, of course it's going to make a difference. And that sometimes happened for me because the Sunday I would eat something really unhealthy, and then Monday I would feel terrible about myself and saying, I really shouldn't have done that, and I feel really bad. And my trigger when I feel bad is to eat more food. So then the cycle continues. So by being kind to yourself, you're saying, it's not that bad. You're still making changes, you're still getting better, and calorie counting, yes, you've had one day where you've been over. Enjoy that day. Enjoy eating the things that you've liked before. The other 6 days, you've done perfectly well and you've done better than you've imagined. If you're going to skip a day at the gym, okay, that's fine. Be kind to yourself and say, I'm alright with doing that. I'll go for a little longer walk than I would normally. So for me, I take the dog out every day. I'll just do an extra 10 to 15 minutes. It won't be exactly the same, but for me, being kind to myself is saying, okay, I've still done something more. And if you start thinking like that in all aspects of life, it makes life a little bit more enjoyable. Because, of course, when you're like this, sometimes you're not the happiest of people. Maybe this will make yourself a little bit more happier. Number 3 is don't expect immediate results. Now, this is one of the biggest things that has stopped me from losing weight over these last 2 decades, is because I would see the journey, I would see how long it would take for me to get to a point where I would be happy within my own body and within my own self. And it would discourage me because I would try losing weight for maybe 2 or 3 weeks and then just give up because I'm seeing no results. And maybe that's because I grew up in a social media world and we're very used to having everything at our fingertips immediately and getting everything we want when we want it. And the idea of working on myself over a long-term process was just exhausting and discouraging, and I didn't do it. But be aware that the results won't come straight away. They will be a long process, but you will feel amazing, which is exactly the reason why I've done these 3 tips, because these are the things I've been saying to myself over this last month, and it's massively helped. And as experience shows for me, the first 1 to 2 months is the hardest personally, and maybe it is for others. So by saying these 3 things to myself and looking at these 3 tips, it has really helped me on my journey. And I hope they've been helpful. I hope you've stuck to the end of the video, because it is what's really helped me, and I hope it motivates some people to actually start losing weight. I'll see you guys in the next video. All right, thanks very much. Bye-bye.